Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Chris and this is Jim, and today we're going to tell you a little bit of a breakdown on our total costs for 4 nights and 4 days in Rome and what to expect.
We created a whole video about Rome, so make sure you guys check that out, but we really wanted to make a short video for you guys and just kind of break down what it would cost if it's your first time going to Rome.
So keep in mind, we were there for the first 4 days of July, which is peak season. Now we're also going to break this down into our accommodations, our transportation, our food, and any attractions that we did see.
So during our 4 days in Rome, we tried to hit all the highlights like everybody does. We made sure that we saw the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, the Trevi Fountain, the Pantheon,
Spanish Steps, I think.
Spanish Steps, St. Peter's Basilica. And then we also cruised around some different neighborhoods like Trastevere just to get an idea of what to do around the city. So we made a great video about that, and I hope you guys check that out.
Yeah, there's a lot more information in our Rome videos, so make sure you go back and take a look at that. It'll break it down with more detail. But we also visited some markets and ate some incredible food while we were there.
A lot of food and wine.
And some wine, of course, and an Aperol Spritzer too. So firstly, we did fly in from Canada to Rome, and we won't break down the cost of our flights from Canada just because we didn't just go to Rome, we carried on to other destinations. So this is excluding those costs. So first off, we'll start with our accommodations. Now we did manage to book 4 nights with travel points. So if we were to break it down and we didn't use points, for example, would be 150 Canadian dollars per night. And then when we arrived, we were wonderfully surprised with the €6 per person per night cost in Rome for the tax that they have.
It's a tourist tax, so keep that in mind. It's something that you'll pay at the end of your stay in Rome, is that all of the hotels and all of the Airbnbs, they have to charge a tourist tax.
So yeah, that added another $84 to our cost. So for us, actually, our 4 days cost us $84 in total for accommodation. So next on our list is transportation. So that consisted of $70 in total for the 4 days. And what we did with that $70 was the train ride in from the airport into Termini Station, which was €14 per person for the train. Yep. Then we ended up on a metro that took us into our neighborhood where we were staying. We also used the metro, I think, one other time. And also we rented scooters where you can do the tap and pay as you go and ride the scooters through Rome, which was super fun. So 70 Canadian dollars in total.
The metro from Termini Station to other parts, you get 100 minutes when you buy a card.
Super easy.
We show you how to top off the card, but it's €1.50 every time that you want to get onto the metro. So when you get on the metro, you get 100 minutes, and then the next time it's another €1.50 just to top off your card. So that's very affordable.
So the next category that we're going to talk about are attractions.
Now there's a lot of things to see in Rome. There's a lot of free things to see, and there's some things that you have to pay for. We try to get to as many free things as we can, but obviously there's some main stuff that you really need to see.
Miss. Yeah.
So one of those is the Colosseum. So that was kind of the first thing that we saw. The Colosseum ticket also includes the Roman Forum, which is also a must-see. Now that was €18 per person to do that. Now we did have to book that about 2 weeks in advance, especially because it was near the busy season. And even when we booked 2 weeks in advance, there was a lot of time slots during that day that we went that were still taken. So we chose to go very early in the morning to avoid some crowds. I think we got the heat. And we got the 9:30 time slot. So we spent close to, I would say, 3 hours between the Colosseum and the Roman Forum, and €18 was well worth the price of doing that.
They have some other ones that you can book as well that include a private tour where somebody comes and guides you through the Colosseum, or you can also go down underneath and see where the animals were stored as well, but we opted just for the basic pass.
So another expense that we had to pay for was the Pantheon. We wanted to see the Pantheon. It's over 2,000 years old. It's incredible. It's just awe-inspiring when you get there. And that was €5 per person to get in. There is 2 options to pay. You can pay by cash or credit card, and they have separate lineups for each one.
The funny part was that the credit card lineup was the fastest one. The cash was the slow one, and I don't know. It's easier just with a credit card sometimes.
And then the other main attraction that we really wanted to see, and we had a chance to see, was the St. Peter's Basilica Dome, and going right up to the top. And that was 10 euros per person to go up to the top of the dome and get those incredible views.
Yes.
That was well worth it. We're so glad that we did that. It was a little bit of a hike to get up. We took the elevator for the extra 2 euros to take us halfway up, and then
Money well spent.
yeah,
Yeah.
money well spent.
Especially because of the heat while we were in Rome.
Yeah, for sure. So those are the ones that we paid for. Now the ones that you don't have to pay for, the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain.
And also St. Peter's Basilica is actually free.
Yeah.
The only cost to that one is actually just going up to the dome, which we felt was really worth it actually.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cathedrals that you may have to pay to get in. We walked into a lot that were free, but I'm sure there are some that you have to pay for. We didn't go to any parks or anything that we had to pay for or anything like that. So those are the main attractions we wanted to see and that you should see when it's your first time in Rome.
The other one that I would recommend would be Vatican City. You know, if you have the extra time, I think Vatican City would be worth it as well. We opted not to go this time just because of the peak crowds. And, you know, if we'd had a couple extra days, it probably would have been worth the visit too, but maybe next time. So the other big category that we're going to cover is food. Now this includes all of our food, from our restaurants to our wine to our Aperol spritzes and our little snacks along the way. So we managed to do for $493 for the 4 days, which is a little higher for us than usual, but you know, we did have a few splurge dinners where we just decided, you know, hey, when in Rome.
So we absolutely love the cafe culture.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere we go, we love that people just can sit on the cobblestone streets and look at these historical buildings while having a nice beverage, a wine, whatever it is.
Go down sometimes and make sure that you sit down, have a beverage, whether it's a Coke or a water or an Aperol Spritz, and soak up the energy of the environment that you're in, because that's quite frankly why you're there.
So there are ways to eat cheaply while you're in Rome, while you're walking around. There's lots of panini shops, there's lots of bakeries. The bakeries is where they'll make the sandwiches and everything like that. So we typically do that during the day, is we'll try to eat, you know, frugally during the day, and then we'll treat ourselves to a dinner at night.
A little bit more of a dinner in the evening. That's just how we do it.
So we showed you some of the markets and some different neighborhoods that you can find more affordable food options. So that option is out there, but we had a great food experience while we were there. Now the Trastevere neighborhood, if you're a foodie, it has so many good restaurants and so many high quality places. You can go as high as you want, or you can eat on a budget.
So our grand total for the 4 nights and 4 days that we spent in Rome and had a fabulous time were 746 Canadian dollars. And like we said before, keep in mind that 600 would be estimated for our costs for 4 nights of hotel on top of that. We did use our points, which saved us a little bit of money.
So without points, $1,346. With points, $746.
And Canadian dollars, keep in mind. So all in all, I think we had a pretty fabulous time. Rome is a place that I believe you could visit over and over and not see everything in one trip. If you get the opportunity to go see Rome, or maybe it might be a place that you enter into Europe to go to another destination, don't be afraid to stop and slow down and see the big city, because it is a beautiful historical city that is worth visiting for sure.
And again, we're at the very peak of the season, so I would say that if you're off season, these prices are going to be much lower. So we felt that we saw all the things we need to see in Rome, and felt that 4 days is a lot of time to get what you need to get out of Rome, and then you can move on to the rest of your trip in Italy. I think it was a fabulous visit. As a first timer, I'm good. It's a check for me. I saw it.
We had a great time, and Rome is a special place. I love Italy. We love Italy, so definitely check it out and take the opportunity to see it. Don't just fly into Rome and then just leave, because I think you'd be missing out on a lot. So we hope that helps you out in maybe planning a trip to Rome and give you some type of idea of what that might look like cost-wise for 4 nights and 4 days. We hope that you enjoyed this video.
We really appreciate you guys watching our videos, and we can't wait to show you some more great content. We have a new country that we're going to next. So stick around, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you know when our videos are coming out, and also hit that bell because it really does help us out when you like the videos and do subscribe. We appreciate all of you, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.